Here's the deck that just won Ascent Singapore. We have Spirit of Slime, we have Sylvie level 1, Sylvie level 2 of course, and Sylvie Slime Sovereign. This is going to be a little bit quick pace of a deck profile, guys. A lot of you already know what slimes do. A lot of slimes lists look pretty similar, so I'm not going to be touching on every single card. I'm just going to be talking about the little changes that we do have to this list and some of the reasons why. But this is going to probably be one of our quicker deck profiles that we've done, just because we are at the end of the format and everyone pretty much knows what these cards do by now. Make sure you are using that most recent errata of Stone Scale Band. It does cost 1 now. It did have a change a little bit ago. We have Guy's Blessing, Covenant of Thorns, Beast Spawn Boots, and Backup Charger. So pretty much the same material deck that every single Slimes list is using right now. Pretty much always going to be those specific 12 cards. Then we have Dungeon Guide. Again, you guys should probably know what that is. We have all the cards that level us up while maintaining value. So we are on 4 Blissful Callings. We are on 4 Forest Cake, and we are on 4 Escape the Wreckage. This is a little bit where our list starts to become unique. A lot of lists will only run 2, usually 3 Escape the Wreckages. We ran 4 because I really do just think it helps you get that more consistent value while leveling up. And it's just a stupid good card, especially when you pair it with like Baby Gray Slime. Just getting Escape early with the Baby Gray Slime is an instant +1, and whenever I see my opponent doing that in like a mirror or something, I literally feel like I'm going to lose the game. So that's why we run so many of them. We have 4 Limitless Slime. Again, just another great card to help you level up and everything. We have 4 Gather Slimes. I'm actually going to talk about this for 1 second because everyone runs 4 Gather Slimes. It's one of the best cards in the deck. It's so good. It counts as a slime when you banish it towards Storm Slimes, and it can help you level up while replacing a card, and it can heal you for, you know, against those aggro decks or even non-aggro decks. Just like helping you stay as close to 0 as possible as the game goes on is just insane. However, this card kind of sucks, like just a little bit. Searchers in Grand Archive are very odd. They can't be like more than 5 cards usually, because then it'll just become too flexible. But revealing the top 5 cards, even in a deck like this, very often I'll only see 1 slime, and sometimes you will see 0. If you watch the finals match of Ascent Singapore, you will see me like almost right at the end of the match whiff on a Gather Slimes. And it really sucks. Using your tempo and a card from hand and doing absolutely nothing with it is one of the worst things that you can do. So we actually play this card as little as we possibly can. I know a lot of people just play Gather Slimes whenever they see it in their hand. This is actually one of my favorite cards to set down in my memory to try to banish for leveling up, because like I said, it is that slime tag, so it does count towards your Storm Slimes. And yeah, unless you like really just have to dig for a Storm Slime, or unless you really need the health, I got scared in that finals match and I really wanted to heal a little bit, which is why I played it, even though I had seen a lot of my deck and knew that my slime count was probably pretty low remaining in my deck. Unless it's for one of those reasons you just really need the health or you really need to dig, I advise not playing that card actually. So just a little bit of a tidbit there for you guys. Baby Green, another stupid good card in the deck. And 4 Slime Shield. Again, another thing that a lot of people will only run like 3 of or something. We really like 4. Again, it's that slime tag, so you can just put it down to level up. And you know, just having those defensive options really helps against the spread of the field. 4 Baby Red, and then only 3 Slime Eruption. This was a little bit of a call because we knew how much Merlin was going to be over in Oceania, Southeast Asia. And so we didn't really want to have too many floating memory cards, and yeah, that's basically it. Just wanted to have something like a Slime Shield over a Slime Eruption. You can definitely run like 4 Slime Eruption, 3 Slime Shields if you prefer, but just kind of personal preference. Then our little spicy pick, and you can hear us talk about this a lot if you join our Patreon. That'll be linked below. Kind of the reasoning why we had used this at Ascent instead of running Baby Blue like I had taken down the Philippines Regional the week before Ascent. So this is the 2-card flex spot in this list. I truly believe that you can run basically anything in these 2 cards and still have a really solid list. I just would recommend not running beast cards. Again, if you want to hear kind of why, I would really go recommend checking out our most recent podcast on the Patreon. You can listen to it on our cheapest tier, the level 1 tier. It just costs $5 a month. Would recommend going and listening to that. But this was a busted call for Ascent Singapore for sure. Was really glad that we had put it in the list. Then we have 3 guys Songbird. I would love to run 4, but you have to be really careful about your non-slime count and also your advanced element count. This is a card that you can only play once you hit level 3, and so 3 does feel like just a good number for it. Then we have 4 Storm Slime. Don't really have to talk about this card. You guys know why it's busted. And then we have 4 Ethereal Slime. Again, don't need to talk about this card. You guys know why it's busted. Then to finish off the deck, we have 4 Lustrous Slime. This is probably the thing that we got questioned the most after the Philippines Regional and during Singapore. People were like, why are you guys on no King Slime, no Twilight Slime, no Ordinary Bears, all that kind of stuff? And why are you on 4 Lustrous instead of 2 or 3 like a lot of other people are running? This just felt incredibly consistent to have the 4 Ethereal, 4 Storm, 4 Lustrous line. It was really consistent. Nico was really strong. Having the extra Lustrous was really good against them. Even playing in the mirror, you know, once you are playing a mirror match of slimes and your opponent plays 2 Lustrous on you, then you'll start to understand the crushing feeling that starts to bring. So Lustrous was honestly an MVP. I was very, very rarely mad to see this card in my hand, and just really, really helped the consistency. We'll briefly touch on the side deck as well. We had 2 Slimes Blessings. This was basically in here to take out when we didn't feel like we wanted raccoons. And yeah, again, if you want to hear us talk about it a little bit more, we do have it on our Patreon, but 2 Resolute Stands as well. Just to help against those anti-aggro decks, or sorry, to help against those aggro decks. We had 1 Scavenging Raccoons. Only having 2 in the main is a little weak if you are against something like a Merlin or something, so we wanted to have that extra in the matchups that really matter. And then you have the reprogram tax. You see every single Slimes list basically running 4 reprograms in the side. Some of them will even have some in the main. Wind Automaton Allies is the deck's worst matchup. I have yet to play against it. It is very underrepresented in the meta right now. Kind of for good reason. It does lose to a lot of other stuff. It kind of loses to itself sometimes as well. But if you're playing Slimes, realistically, the side deck doesn't matter that much. You have a lot of space in here that you're just not going to use. So just having these in here for a just in case button if you hit that matchup is very, very much needed. Even though I literally didn't play it once during this whole season, I would have never not run 4 reprograms in my sideboard. Then we had a Beastbond Ears. You have to respect the Dustlight Communion. Not running this card is crazy. Before before Singapore, we saw a lot of people start to cut this from their list, and that is exactly why players like Fugitive, who took 2nd place at the regionals, only losing to me in the finals, and he also got top 8 in the Ascent Singapore. You know, he was running Merlin with Dustlight Communion package, and he said that he had put in the Dustlight Communions because so many Slime players had taken out Ears. Guys, that is crazy. This deck does not need that much sideboard space. Respect your losses. Respect the techs that are putting in against you, and respect the automaton decks with those reprograms. Then we also do have Nullifying Lantern to ride it out. Like I said, Nico can be a little bit scary of a matchup. Having the Lantern in there, having all the Lustrous, is really going to help you feel so much more confident in that matchup and can stop a Nico from high rolling you if they draw the nuts hands. Guys, that is it. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. I know that this is a more fast-paced deck profile, but we are kind of experimenting with the content. We want to get a little bit more in your face right away and help you guys to stick around and watch the full thing instead of rambling for a bunch at the beginning of the videos. And like I said, it's the end of the format. You guys know how Slimes are. Just wanted to briefly mention some new things about how it did at Ascent Singapore. So thank you guys all so much. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.